winter of 1959, 9 experienced hikers entered the frozen Ural Mountains. Weeks later, rescuers found their campsite. Their tent had been cut open from the inside. Their boots, warm clothing, food, and supplies were still inside. Yet the hikers had disappeared into the freezing wilderness. None of them survived. More than 60 years later, people are still asking one question: what really happened at Dyatlov Pass? Welcome to the Secret Archive, where every story hides a secret. The story begins on January 23, 1959. A group of 10 experienced hikers, led by 23-year-old Igor Dyatlov, left the city of Sverdlovsk on what was expected to be a challenging but routine winter expedition through the Ural Mountains. All of them were skilled hikers with experience surviving harsh winter conditions. The goal was to reach Mount Otorten, complete the journey, and return home. But before reaching the mountain, one member of the group became ill and decided to turn back.
That decision would ultimately save his life. The remaining 9 hikers continued into the wilderness. As they climbed higher into the mountains, temperatures dropped well below freezing. Strong winds swept across the open slopes, and deep snow made every step more difficult. Still, nothing suggested they were in serious danger. On the evening of February 1st, the group pitched their tent on the eastern slope of Kholat Syakhl, a mountain whose name in the local Mansi language is often translated as Dead Mountain. It would be the last campsite they ever made. When the hikers failed to return on schedule, families and friends grew concerned. Search teams were organized, and after several days of searching through the snow-covered mountains, rescuers finally found the campsite. What they discovered raised more questions than answers. The tent was still standing, but it had been cut open from the inside. Inside were backpacks, boots, heavy winter clothing, cameras, food, and personal belongings. Everything the hikers needed to survive had been left behind. Footprints led away from the tent toward a nearby forest. Some of the tracks were made by people wearing boots. Others appeared to have been made by hikers wearing only socks or no shoes at all. Why would experienced hikers willingly leave the safety of their tent in freezing temperatures without proper clothing?
The first 2 bodies were discovered beneath a large cedar tree at the edge of the forest. They were lightly dressed and showed signs of having tried to build a fire. Over the following weeks and months, the remaining hikers were found scattered across the snowy landscape. Some appeared to have been trying to make their way back to the tent. Others were discovered in a nearby ravine beneath deep snow. Several died from hypothermia. Others had severe internal injuries, including fractured ribs and skull injuries, despite showing very few external wounds. Some bodies were missing soft tissue, including eyes, and in one case, part of the tongue. Investigators believe these changes most likely occurred after death because the bodies remained exposed to harsh winter conditions for months before being recovered. Even so, the unusual combination of evidence fueled decades of speculation. The official Soviet investigation concluded that the hikers died as the result of an unknown compelling natural force. That vague conclusion only deepened the mystery. Over the years, countless theories emerged. Some believed the hikers were attacked by a Yeti. Others suggested secret military weapons tests. Some even claimed they had encountered something not of this world. None of these theories have been supported by reliable evidence. In recent years, scientists have proposed a different explanation. A rare slab avalanche may have struck the campsite during the night. Today, many researchers believe the slab avalanche theory explains much of the evidence, although some details continue to be debated. More than 60 years later, the Dyatlov Pass incident remains one of history's most fascinating unsolved cases. Not because every answer is hidden, but because every piece of evidence tells only part of the story. This has been case file number 002 from the Secret Archive, because every story hides a secret.